Hello and welcome to the ScatterVolt channel, and today, right now, is the best time to build a gaming PC. Don't wait any longer. All the way from lowering graphics card prices to panic in the cryptocurrency market, there hasn't been this good of a time to build a gaming PC in a long while. And I think that fact is amplified more so by the upcoming RTX 4000, Radeon RX 7000, and even AM5 Ryzen CPUs. You might not actually want to wait for these newer products to release because I think they'll actually end up biting you in the butt if you do. And I'll explain why in a bit. For current graphics card pricing, it has gotten significantly better for Team Red, now with all cards on average being just about 6% above intended MSRP. So for Team Red, it's looking very promising. But for Team Green, for NVIDIA, they're still on average about 14% over original MSRP, though there are some standouts that are close to their original price tags, like the RTX 3070 Ti, which can be found at its $700 MSRP. Then as for current CPU offerings, Intel 12th Gen is the way to go. You can get access to some awesome processors on a discount below their intended MSRPs while being on the latest Intel platform on the LGA 1700 socket that also again has support for DDR5 when we all eventually move on to that. Though still, I know many of you in the comment section are going to harp at the fact that the next generation of graphics cards and processors are just around the corner, yet I still think that isn't the smartest idea to wait even longer for those newer products, and I'm going to tell you why right after our sponsor. If you're looking to activate Windows 10 Home, Pro, or 11 on a brand new or existing gaming PC, look no farther than VIPScdkey. They're the site that I went to activate the Windows 11 installation that I had on my $700 gaming PC build guide that I produced recently, and it only costed me $23 to purchase one of their keys, including my discount code VIPScatter, and that was all activated on that PC within a matter of like about 2 minutes, so not that long. So if you want to check them out, I'll have a link to their website and my discount code at the top of the description. So in terms of future graphics card prospects, NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel are all planning to release new graphics cards later this year. And while you may think, okay, it's just around the corner, I'll go ahead and wait for it and choose that for my next or current gaming PC, I don't think that's the smartest idea. First up, scalpers. They will always be there even before the graphics card shortage and before the crypto mining boom. Scalpers were there on release to take up all the RTX 3000 and RX 6000 cards when they initially launched back in October of 2020. And I have no doubt they will be in full force yet again to capitalize on all the hype and all the marketing that these new cards are going to receive later this year. So for the average Joe who wants to get the latest and greatest from NVIDIA, AMD, or Intel upon release online, it's just not going to happen. And for how long, I can't tell. I really don't know. Now, the second thing I do have a bit of a quarrel with for these new graphics cards is going to be their future pricing. Because if the graphics card shortage has taught AMD and NVIDIA anything, it's that PC gamers are willing to pay a huge premium just to get their hands on the latest and greatest. And to a pretty disgusting degree, I might add. So with that said, what's stopping AMD and NVIDIA from really marking up the prices of their latest flagship graphics cards when they drop? What's stopping NVIDIA from making the 4080 $1,000? What's stopping AMD from making the RX 7900 XT $1,500? And that pricing scale is still going to trickle down to the lower end as well. Maybe getting like a nice 4060 isn't going to be around $300 anymore. It'll probably be closer to the upper $400 range, which is currently where the 3060 is kind of at right now. And that's why the current generation of graphics cards I think are so appealing, because they're close to their original MSRPs set before the crypto mining boom, set before the graphics card shortage. Then as for future CPU prospects, this is a little more promising because I do think the new set of Ryzen CPUs on the new AM5 socket set to release later this year will be very fast and more power efficient than the last generation of Ryzen CPUs. Though if we saw anything from the Ryzen 5000 launch, there will be scalpers there to hog up all of the processors. I mean, yes, there was a processor shortage at the same time, but you couldn't get your hands on like a flagship 5950X or 5900X for close to MSRP until a year after they launched. Yes, I know supply got better, but what I'm saying is that scalpers will always be there and they will haggle the stock of these new chips at least for a good few months when they initially release. And that's why 12th gen is just here. It's on discount. It's fast. I mean, a little hot, but it's there for the taking. And you can take it and you'll get excellent gaming performance nonetheless. And if the deal wasn't sweet enough already, you got to keep in mind that the current tariffs on Chinese imported goods, which include graphics cards, has been lifted. Also got to keep in mind that GPU exports to Russia have been halted because of the Ukraine war. And not only that, but the crypto market is seeing an all-time low since 2020, and more specifically for proof of work coins like Ethereum. It's looking like, at least for Ethereum, it'll be coming to an end for that, and will eventually move on to a proof of stake concept, which means basically you won't really want to mine Ethereum anymore with a graphics card, moving over to a proof of stake workflow. It's always been proof of work for the longest time, which is why miners have been buying up graphics cards to mine profitable coins like Ethereum, but it looks like proof of work is on its last legs according to the community, and at some point this year, Ethereum will have to make the switch over to a more efficient model, that being proof of stake. And that's going to happen soon. And part of that, and that kind of doubt, is also the reason why Ethereum has been dropping a lot in price lately. So on that note, the used graphics card market could get pretty sweet, but I like to think those people selling off all of their mining graphics cards will have to compete with the new graphics card pricing going on right now for the current generation of graphics cards. Because I'm still seeing like pre-owned and used 3060s and 3070s above new 36 and 3070s you can get on Newegg, Amazon, or Best Buy. So these GPU miners are going to have to get hit with the reality that the new graphics card market has recovered and they can't exactly sell off their old cards for as much of an intended premium that they originally had when they first bought them. So it's going to be a little bit of a sticky situation for them, which will only be a win-win for PC gamers looking to just finally get a nice graphics cards for themselves. So that is all I got to say for today's video. And if you have any ideas or comments on what I talked about in this video, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll go ahead and read them while I do my Stairmaster at the gym. I like to check my YouTube comments while I do cardio at the same time. It's a pretty neat combo. Anyways, if you made it to this point in the video, you might like what I make. And if so, consider subscribing. I'm not forcing you to, but the big subscribe button is right there. Kind of neat. Consider it. And give this video a like to help it in the algorithm, because I'm competing against like 200 other subscriptions. It's rough. A little bit helps. It literally takes like less than 1 calorie to click the left click on your mouse to just help me out. It's like the most minimal effort you got to put in that can really impact how good my videos do. Yeah, no, sorry if that sounded selfish. So with all that said, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and this is the ScatterVolt channel signing out.